Hello friends, I am Amit Banerjee and welcome to my channel xledutech Empower Yourself. Friends, today I am going to demonstrate on all average related functions of MS Excel like average, average A, average if, average ifs. So now let's come to the practical session directly. Friends, average function is a built-in function in Excel that is categorized as a statistical function, but it can be used as a worksheet function in Excel. In mathematics, the average is the middle or central value in a set of numbers which is calculated by dividing the sum of all the numeric values by their count. You can take up to 255 arguments in one formula as numeric values or arrays or cell or range references. The first argument is required but subsequent ones are here optional. Now clearly this is the syntax of average function. So according to this, the number 1 means first argument is required, means mandatory, and number 2, number 3, number 4, so on, these are all optional. So mathematically if I want to calculate any average value, then I have to do the first sum of these values and then I have to divide this sum by their count, means here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers, and obviously this is a table. These are the students' name, these are the subject, these are the scores of respective students, right? So manually means mathematically I am taking a sum, right? Sum, here is the sum of these numbers, and then I have to divide it by its count, means there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers are there, and it is giving 70.8, right? Now let's use average function equals to averageif average. Okay, I am selecting this range of cells instead of taking this number comma this number comma this number like this, and it is also giving 70.8, so it works fine and this is our correct result. Now in next table, here I have taken a blank cell. If blank cell falls between the ranges, then what we will do, averageif average, select this range, it simply calculate the average value, right? No problem with that. So if I select this range, look here, average is 76.25 and here is also 76.25, so these two values are identical and these are correct values. Now here I am also taking the average, right? Average, select this, here is also giving the right value. Now here suppose I want to find the average of several ranges, so what I will do then, equals to average average, I select this range, comma, I select this range, comma, and I select this range. Okay, then bracket close and hit the enter key. It is giving 72.2857. Let's check. I select these three ranges and look here, 72.285 is the average, and here is also 72.285, right? Now in this case these are two logical values, and in this case if I want to average these two logical values, clearly it will throw us a error. AV average, select these two. Look, it is giving division by 0 error. Now come to this average a function, right? Average a function is also a built-in function in Excel, that is categorized as a statistical function, but it can be used as a worksheet function in Excel. Average a function returns the average, means arithmetic mean, of the numbers provided. Unlike average function, average a function treats true value as a 1 and false as a 0. This is a very special case of average a function, right? And the syntax of average a is average a, value 1, value 2 and so on. And here value 1 is required argument, and after that subsequent values are optional, value 2, value 3, like that. Values are supplied can be numbers, ranges, named ranges or cell references that contain values, and up to 255 arguments can be supplied within this function. Okay, now let's find the average of these three. Okay, avera average, no problem, here it is giving 20. Let's check. Here is the average is 20, right? But if I want to average these two values, what will happen? Look, avera average, I select these two values. Okay, sorry, average a, here it's giving 0.5. Again I am showing that if I take average a and select these three, it works like a average function. Okay, it's giving 20. So here is average is 20. But if I use this function average a for these two values, find average, it's giving 0.5. So how it is? I already mentioned that average a function treats true as a 1 and false as a 0. So clearly if I want to find the average of these two values, here the average is 0.5 and here is also I get 0.5 for these two values. Okay, so next come to the average if. Now average if function is again also a built-in function of Excel, right? And it is categorized as a statistical function, but here also it can be used as a worksheet function like previous cases. The average if function is used to calculate an average of cells in a given range that meets a certain condition. The function has a total of 3 arguments. The first 2 are required and the last one is optional. And here the syntax is average if. First argument is range, then criteria, and third argument is average range. So here range and criteria, these two are required, but average range is optional. That is why it is covered by brackets. Next come to the first argument, range. The range of it means the range of cells to test against the criteria. Next, criteria, it is also a required field, means required argument. It is the condition that determines which cells to average. It can be supplied in the form of a number, logical expression, text value or cell reference, and average range is optional. It means the cells you actually want to average. If I omit this uh, argument, then the range will be averaged, right? So here, if you look in this table, here I took car name, quantity sold as a table head and date, and these are the car names, these are quantity sold, and these are date of sale. Okay. Now here I will demonstrate several types of doing average if function or using average if function. The first way is criteria applied to the same column, and here I have to find average quantity sold in quantity sold column that are greater than 9. So here I have to select the quantity sold greater than 9 from this column, right? And I will also select this column for finding average. So that is why criteria applied to the same column. Okay. So average if, and always remember that average if function takes single criteria. It works on single criteria. We can't use here multiple criteria. So average if, so here is the range. Range means this is our range, quantity sold column. Okay. Criteria means here quantity sold greater than 9. So for this, within double quote, greater than symbol 9 I will use. Okay. And here average range, I can also hit this range, but here it is not required. Hit the enter key. Look, it is giving 11. Let's check from source table. Greater than 9 select. I have to select greater than 9 values. 10 here, 11, 12. Okay. So the average is here 11, right? And our result was also 11. So this is correct. Next, come to the criteria applied to another column. Here I will use two columns to find the result, and I have to find average quantity sold that were delivered after 13/7. Okay. So here I will use average if, right? Range will be from where I will set the criteria. So this date column will be the range, no doubt. Then criteria after 13/7 means greater than 13/7/2023. Okay. Then average range. So I have to find average in this column. Close the bracket, hit the enter key, it's giving 7. So after 13, right? After 13 means 14, 15, 16, 17. Next, okay. So what will be the average? Average is 7, and here is also 7. I got it. Next, finding average using text criteria. I will use here text as a criteria. So I have to find here average quantity sold for car Chevrolet. So here I will use average if. Range will be car name from where I have to set the criteria, right? So criteria will be Chevrolet, and as it is string, I have to enclose it by double quote. Cagvrolet, Chevrolet, comma. Next, it is asking for average range. So quantity sold column is the average range. Hit the enter key. It's giving 5.66. So select Chevrolet car. Look here, average is 5.666, right? So it works fine. Next, finding average using text criteria as cell reference. Here I directly use the string in the formula, but here I will use the string but as a cell reference here. So I have to find the average quantity sold for Nissan car equals to average if, right? It is asking for range, so definitely range will be car name column. Criteria will be Nissan this cell A14, and average range will be quantity sold column. Close the bracket, hit the enter key. So let's check for Nissan. Where is Nissan? Here is Nissan, and it's giving average 7. Okay, and here is also I got 7. Next, finding average using logical criteria. I will use here logical criteria within the function for date this, and here I have to find average quantity sold on this date, means 11/7/2023. So here equals to average if range will be this date column. Next, criteria will be this as a cell reference. Average range, then average range will be this column. So it's giving 5.5. So average quantity sold on 11/7. Just click on 11. So average quantity sold 5.5. Okay, very good. Next, finding average using blank criteria. I will use here criteria as a blank. So first question is average quantity sold whose delivery dates are blank, means here is some blank date I put it here. So I have to find the quantity sold whose delivery dates are blank. So here average if, okay, range will be this, comma, criteria will be blank. So just double quote open, double quote close, and average range will be this. Close the bracket, right? It's giving 3. So quantity average delivery dates are blank. So let's select the blank date, this blank cells. So here average is 3. Okay, and here we got 3 also. Next, average quantity sold whose delivery dates are not blank. Here I will use, sorry, in this case we can use double quote, or we can use just equals to within double quote, right? The same results we will get. Next, average quantity sold whose delivery dates are not blank, right? Delivery dates are not blank. So here average if range will be this column, comma, criteria is not blank. For not blank, I will use less than, greater than. Okay. Then average range. This is our average range. Not blank. So ampersand blank. Right? Hit the enter key. It's giving 5.8752. Not blank. I will select not blank cell. Sorry. Look, it's giving average 5.875. Here is also I got 5.875. Okay. Next, here I have to find average non-zero quantity sold for all kinds of cars. Non-zero quantity, here is some zero here, right? So here I have to find the average of non-zero quantity sold for all cars. So here I will average if range. So non-zero quantity sold for all cars. The range will be this. Criteria will be non-zero. So for this, not ampersand 0. And average range will be this. So no need to mention the range for average. Look, it is giving 6.055. So non-zero quantity. Just unselect non-zero. Here also 6.055, right? So this is our correct value. Next, use of wildcard characters. We can use wildcard characters here also in this function. So I have to find now average quantity sold for cars having name Suzuki. Where is Suzuki here in source text? Here is Suzuki. Here is Suzuki and here is Maruti. So in these 3 rows, Suzuki are there. So I have to find the average quantity sold for these. So here average if range will be car name column, but here as a criteria I will set here, first I will put within double quote asterisk, then Suzuki I will type SUZUKI, and after that I will put another asterisk, then I will close the double quote. Right, this is our criteria. And average range means this. Now why I am using asterisk before and after Suzuki? I have already made a video on wildcard character, just use of wildcard characters in Excel. There I have told that asterisk stands for all and question mark stands for single character. So here as I use asterisk means before S any number and any character can be there before S, and after I there may be any number of characters after I of Suzuki. So here if I hit the enter key, I got 7. So here before Suzuki, Maruti and one space are there, right? Let's check Suzuki, Maruti Suzuki and Suzuki. So average is 7, and in this case I also got 7. So this was use of average if function. Next come to average if s. So average if s function is also an inbuilt Excel statistical function that calculates the average of all numbers in a given range of cells based on multiple criteria. Here I will use multiple criteria, but in case of average if I use single criteria. The syntax of average if is average range, criteria range 1, criteria 1, criteria range 2, criteria 2, like this, right? Average range, the first argument is here required. It means the cells you actually want to average. The argument includes numbers or names, arrays or references that contain numbers. Here criteria range 1, criteria range 2, these are criteria range 1 is here a required argument, and subsequent criteria ranges are optional, and there can be up to 127 ranges and associated criteria, right? And criteria 1, criteria 2, criteria 1 is here required, and criteria 2, criteria 3 are here optional. There can be from 1 to 127 characters in the form of a number or expression or cell reference or text that define which cells will be averaged, right? Now here I will show you 1, 2, 3, 4 cases, right? First is average if, means use of average ifs with text criteria. Here I take a text as a cell reference. So I have to find average quantity sold in north region. So here I will use avera, average if s. Average range is this. Criteria range 1 is region column, right? Then criteria will be north. So for this I will use here cell reference. Here is our north, right? Okay, and it's giving 3.2. North means I select north and find the, if I find the average, it's giving 3.2. okay, and here also I got 3.2. The same thing I can do with the help of average if function, but here we can also use in case of average if s function, as I have taken here a single criteria north. So we can use single criteria within average if s function as well as average if function. But if multiple criteria, in case of multiple criteria, we have to use average if s, not average if. Okay, so here next thing is average ifs with logical operator. So here I have to find average quantity sold for quantity greater than 5 delivered till 13/7/2023 equals to average if s So average range will be this. Criteria 1 will be again this column. Criteria 1 will be greater than 5 and yes. Criteria 2 range will be date column and criteria 2 will be delivered till, that is why delivered till. So here I will use less than delivered till equals to within double quote and then (13) 7. Okay. This is. So let's check delivered till. Where is quantity greater than 5? Quantity greater than 5 means 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. And greater than, sorry, till till 30, less than till 30, 5, 6, 12. I selected it. And the average is 8. Look, here is 8. So here also I got the value 8. Now come to the next. Average if s with wildcard character. Here average quantity sold in all south, southeast and southwest. So here is source table, where is south, southeast, southwest. Okay. So I have to find average quantity sold in all south, southeast, southwest region for car names Skoda. So here equals to averagefs. Average range will be first this region column. Sorry, average range, not region column. Average range will be quantity sold column. Next, criteria range 1. So criteria range 1 will be now region column. Okay. Then criteria 1. Criteria 1 will be maybe south, southeast, southwest. So for this I will use SOUTA, south, then star. Okay, this is our criteria 1. Next, criteria range 2 will be car name column, and criteria 2 will be Skoda, right? SKODA, Skoda car. Look, it is giving 9. So let's check south, southeast, southwest. First Skoda, south, southeast, southwest. So east, so is 9, and in our source table it is also I got 9. Next, average ifs between two values. Now average quantity sold between 5 and 10 inclusive means I have to consider 5 and 10 also for waste and on date 11/7. So here equals to averageif average if s, average range will be this, criteria range 1 will be this, again criteria 1 will be greater than equals to 5. Next, criteria range 2 will be again quantity sold column, criteria 2 will be within double quote less than equals to 10. Okay, next criteria 3 will be date column and criteria 3 will be date 11/07/2020. It's giving 6.5. So first select the quantity sold greater than equals to 5 and less than equals to 10. Okay, and on 11, right? So 6.5, average is 6.5. let's check in the result. So here is also I got 6.5. And we can use here this as a cell reference also we can use. So here how I will use it equals to average if average range will be this, criteria range will be this. Okay, criteria 1 will be greater than equals to 5, this cell. Next, criteria range 2 will be again quantity sold column, criteria 2 will be less than equals to this column. Okay, next criteria range 3 will be the date column and criteria 3 will be the this date, and it will give also 6.5. So these are the correct values, right? So friends, I have covered all average related functions of MS Excel. I think it will help you very much in your professional life. Friends, if you like this video, then please subscribe my channel if you already not or forget to do so, and requesting you to share this as much as possible, and obviously do like this video and press on bell icon to get notified for new additions. And also, if anything comes to your mind regarding this video, then please mention it in comment box below, and I will definitely keep my eyes on those as my earliest. And lastly, I have already given below my channel URL and also the list of videos till now I have covered for your access and learnings. Please wait shortly for my next upcoming video on this channel, and I have given the link of practice file also in description box. You may download the file by clicking on that link to practice what we have learned today from this video. Till then, that's all for today. Thank you for watching my video, friends.